led by as many as 25. They'll win by 20. Giannis Antetokounmpo with another finals gem. And this series is now 2-1.
Another episode of Waterbreak to quench your thirst between episodes of Open Gym Sports and Culture. I'm your host for the day, Gio. I'm here with my main man, my best friend, my close confidant, my ace boom coon, Dmo. How you doing?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. Watching that game, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Game 3. Must-win game. And the Bucks, they showed up. They finally showed up. You know what I mean? We didn't see Giannis yelling at all his teammates on the side. What was your takeaway from this game?
I mean, Giannis did his thing again. You know, third game. I think I seen him in the company of LeBron. Shot for 40 in 10 games, 40 points. 10 plus rebounds. That was one of my biggest takeaways, just to see him stand consistent and actually getting the W this time. I want to say maybe my second biggest takeaway is the fact that they actually had somebody over 20 points other than him, and that's probably why they got the W as well. Who was? I think it was Jrue Holiday.
Yeah, Jrue. It was Jrue. Jrue had 21.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that because I remember last episode you were saying how you can't compare him to Shaq. You can't compare him to LeBron. And the first thing you do, hey, on the LeBron.
Yeah. I mean, he and a company. I just think he's a different player. That's it. Just a hybrid player.
Well, let's get into it. Who was your MVP of the night? Who was the most valuable player of the night? I think I know who you're going with.
Yeah, I just touched on it a little bit. Giannis with the 42 and 10 plus. That was big, man. That was big to see him put up those numbers. He was aggressive the whole game. He stayed with distributor mentality where he wanted to make sure that he was getting the ball to his teammates. Budenholzer kind of changed it around to have Middleton bringing the ball up. But Giannis was still able to do his thing, even with not having the ball as much or being the focal as much. He still came to play.
Yeah, he had 41 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. The man was out there on the mission. You know, he shot 13 for 17 on the free throws. He didn't have a whole arena counting them down. He was able to take his sweet time with them free throws. I see why you might say Giannis is the MVP of the night. I see why you might say that. You know, the only thing that's different from last game and this game is Jrue Holiday made his shots. So I have to give him the most valuable player. He played defense. He's got 21, 9 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. The man had 5 rebounds as well. He was doing everything on that court. You said Chris Middleton brought the ball up the court. And that was able for Jrue to just focus on hitting his shots and locking Chris Paul down and making Chris Paul have an abnormal game of 4 turnovers, 4 of them. This is the guy who was having 13 assists and 0 turnovers, and now he got 4 in the finals. That's all Jrue Holiday. Locked down Jrue Holiday. The man came in. He said, I'm not Eric Bledsoe. I'm finna show y'all I'm not Eric Bledsoe. And he did. He did.
That's a fact.
Going with Jrue being my MVP of the night, and you got Giannis' MVP of your night, who do you got for the least valuable player?
I gotta say Devin Booker. Devin Booker was a no-show tonight. He had, I think it was 10 points. Somebody who averages 25 points a game coming out and dropping the egg like that and not really doing what he's usually doing. It's terrible to see. It's terrible for his team. We talked about Chris Paul kind of, having his turnover issues or, going through, the turnover problems that he's had throughout the series. But to see, technically your next best or your best scorer on the team, maybe not your best player, maybe not the focal point of the offense, but your best scorer easily not coming out. I do want to say too that seeing DeAndre Ayton not out there as much because he got in foul trouble, that affected the game a lot as well. Seeing how he was killing in that first half. I think he had like a good 16 or something. Like he was 16. He had 16 points in that first half. And he was still kind of helping on that defensive end. And I think they was up 6 at that point when he got into foul trouble right before Milwaukee went on a big run.
But DeAndre finished with 18 points and 9 rebounds, 2 steals. So, like, if that was his first half, his second half was definitely minimized. Very. And I want to agree with you, Dmo. I want to agree with you. Booker, I mean, you had Jay Crowder going off for 18 points. I think this is his first big game of the finals. You got Ayton, like you said, he had 18. You had Cam Johnson with 14 off the bench. That's double digits off your bench. Chris Paul still giving you 9 assists and 19 points. But your shooter who has really 2 jobs. He's supposed to score and facilitate. Score points and rack up assists. And he had only 2 assists to go along with those 10 points that he had, and shot 3 for 14, 1 from 7 behind the 3-point line. I mean, that's laying an egg in superstar stardom, being compared to Kobe. This whole run, him putting up 10 points is not Kobe-esque. It's not. It's really not. In a game that you have that with the Mamba mentality would tell you to drop 30, like the spirit of Kobe Bryant is shaking his head right now. Like, how could you take a game off like this? I have to agree with you. I was looking for somebody else to put blame on. I can't really put what's his name? Cameron Payne. I can't really. He went 3 for 10, but I really can't. He ain't expected to do anything.
Yeah, he coming off the bench.
Yeah, Miles Bridges had 4 turnovers too, but like,
and he had what, 4 points? 4 points,
yeah,
5 points, something like that, versus the 20 points that he put up last game. That's tough.
But at the end of the day, Devin Booker role is to pass the ball and make points. And he failed at both of them today. So LVP, unanimous decision, Devin Booker. As far as coaching, who was the coach of the night for you?
Budenholzer has some key moments as a coach tonight. He put together the game plan to, I think, stop Devin Booker and keep him from getting to the hole as much as he normally do and facilitate as much as he normally do. And it worked. It worked out. Them putting Drew on Chris Paul again, like you just said earlier, that caused a little bit more of a ruckus too. Not able to do what he usually does, and then racking up those turnovers that he racked up. It just it showed the disruption that they needed. But if I was really gonna say that the biggest deciding factor, if I was really gonna say other than coaching, I think being there at home, having that home crowd atmosphere, that really sparked it for Milwaukee. So I wish I could get a crowd they do as far as the coaching task. I mean, all you got to do is play into your hands. Hey, I'm at home. Let me, tell Giannis to keep doing his thing, get to the line, and then he gonna make more free throws because he at home and he got more time and feel more comfortable. So, but yeah, Budenholzer, if he didn't do what he did as far as, laying out the game plan the way that he did and kind of saying, hey, let's stick to our identity, getting the ball to Giannis, having Middleton a little bit more involved, bringing up the ball, it wouldn't have worked out the way it did.
See, I'm kind of indecisive because the only difference between this game and last game is that they hit their shots. Like they were doing the same thing. I didn't really see much adjustment outside of Chris Middleton bringing the ball up. And is that really that much of a
but that's what I said. He stuck to his game plan. It just worked out better at home because, like you just said, like the defensive side played pretty much, in my opinion, exactly the same as it did the last two games. But you didn't have Devin Booker hitting a lot of shots. You ain't have the home crowd boosting Phoenix, for offense to get them that hype that they needed. So I feel like that's where that home court advantage kind of played in.
I know it sounds crazy in a blowout win, a blowout loss, but I still kind of feel like Monty outcoached them this game. Like, I don't know. They seem more, even though they couldn't, Devin Booker laid an egg. Cameron Payne laid an egg. It just felt like they had better ball movement, better involvement of their players, better. It's just that two of the guys they depend on didn't show up. And like you said earlier, DeAndre Ayton was in foul trouble most of the second half. So that defense wasn't there. Like they had a pick and roll scheme that was unguardable, unstoppable. You're not going to stop Chris Paul because if you try to stop him, he's just going to oop it up to Ayton. He's just going to pass it to Ayton. If you stop Ayton, guess what? Chris Paul, mid-range game. Milwaukee Bucks, Phoenix Suns, Thursday, Game 4. Do the Bucks even it up?
Man, after seeing how the Milwaukee crowd was, man, I feel like that's a tough environment to win in right now. I feel like if the Bucks game plan pretty much stay the same and they do find ways to try to get DeAndre Ayton in foul trouble again, it's going to be, Milwaukee evening it up 2-2. That's how I play it out. That's definitely how I play it out.
I'll see it going to 7. I don't know how it's going to get to 7, but I see it going to 7. This has been another episode of Waterbreak. I'm Gio. You can find me on OG Sports Culture on Instagram, OG Sports Culture on Twitter. Narrative Control is the label that pays me. Like, subscribe. Dmo, hit them with your Instagram.
Yeah, find me on Instagram at DMob1127.
That's 1127 for y'all folks. All right. Have a good night. Have a good day. Whenever time you watching this. Follow us on the podcast at Chicago Sports. There's a bunch of other episodes. Check the archive. We got a lot of stuff on there. Check the archives for Narrative Control. Anything you want to say to the people, D?
Nah, man, go watch those videos. Go check us out.
Peace.
Yeah.